Hey Soul Tribe, Tracy here with Sweet Spot e-magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, views, subscribes, all of it. I appreciate it all. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Let's ring the bell. Let's go ahead and clear out this energy, and then we'll see what the message the Spirit has for us. Almost sounds like a threat. You know, when somebody says something underneath their breath, they say something just low enough just for you to hear it. Bottom of the deck. Appearance. See, somebody, they might appear to be one type of way, but they're not. You appear to be one type of way that you're not. See, nobody could tell just by looking at you that you were sitting on your spiritual throne already. This would have been your family. They couldn't tell that you was on your spiritual throne because you know what? They weren't aware. They weren't looking with their spiritual eyes. It's almost like they felt like you were like one of those people that they say is too kind, too sweet, too quote unquote nice. One of those. But one thing about you is you don't play. You are definitive in your answer. It's either yes or it's no. It's not one of those no, maybe, or the reason I'm saying no, or no. Something about your family, something about your ancestry. You know, it's almost like there's always been some type of competition. You know, there's always been somebody that's been competing for a certain spot. And somebody, they want to defend that spot. And they want you to be afraid to assume that spot or that position. That's why somebody was saying something underneath their breath. That's why they was trying to kind of threaten you. I'm telling you, somebody was saying something, they was trying to threaten you with that ring. Because see, what the driving force is somebody wants you to fear being the chosen one. They want to drive you away. They don't want you to be able to assume that position. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah, it's like they want you to be afraid of being chosen. That's why somebody's trying to play in your energy. But you know what? Regardless, you get justice. You always are going to get justice. And the reason is because you know what? You pledged to God. You gave your love to God. You said, I do to the Most High. That's why you're getting justice. And so somebody thought that they could almost like trying to be somewhere else, but send some attacks to you, you know, to a different location. Like they could do something at a different location. And that you would forgive them. Because it's always what you do. In fact, this person thought that you would forgive them and you would be too afraid to stand up and call them out. Like I said, somebody was trying to play in your energy. They felt like they could take something from you, and they felt like they was just the right person to do it. Like they didn't even have to be there to scare the shit out of you. Here she goes. What's the message? Sasha, stop it! Sasha? No. Hush. What did I say? Yeah. See, like I said, somebody, they thought they could be like invisible doing some stuff to you, and you wouldn't know it was them, and you wouldn't know it was them creating an issue. You would never think that it was this person trying to create this chaos for you. Let me put her little ass outside. Oh my God. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to put that little girl out there. But yeah, somebody didn't think that you would know it was them. That was the one that was creating the conflict. That was the... Can't make this up. That this was the one that was doing all this bad mouthing about you, gossiping, spreading lies, rumors that ain't even true, that don't even fucking make sense about you. You know, they never thought that you would pick them as the one, like that they would be the ones that's trying to scare the shit out of you from assuming your position, and you have a very high position. What's the message, Spirit? What is the message? Something is stemming from, it's like something stems from something else. You know, like this person, whatever they're trying to do, it's stemming from something else. Somebody, yeah, they trying to send this message. The snake is trying to send this message, you know. But you know what? It's like they're trying to tell you that you need to get, it's like they're trying to send this message around to everybody that you need help, that you need serious help for your addictions, or you need like an exorcism or something like that. You know, like you were just consumed with the devil, but it's not you. It's them. They're the ones that are so worried about your position, your standing. They're the ones that are so worried about your purpose. This is the person that thinks it should be them. It should be them. Something about somebody purposely did something to you, either to your home or while you was at home, maybe whenever, you know, somebody purposely did something to you to try and affect your home. And they swore up and down that this was going to create a hardship for you. They swore up and down that this is going to create a hardship for you. And they didn't know that they said that there was no way you being you would be able to defend this stuff, would be able to fight against this, because they said they put, you know, some type of black magic or something, like this is some type of spell that never ever fails, a disconnect spell or something. And then they were sitting here watching you, and it's almost like they were shunned, or not shunned, they were stunned. They tried to shun you, but they were stunned that you knew exactly what they were doing. And they were stunned that everything that they tried to do didn't do anything to you. Nothing. That's what stems from the conflict. That's where the conflict stems from. Somebody wanted to really mess you up. Almost like, instead of them trying to do something to your home, I feel like they tried to do something to put some curse to you. Make you homeless. Put you out on the streets. And now this person, this person is upset that it's not working. You were able to defend yourself against this disconnect spell. You know, it's like this person, they sitting here, it's almost like it was a test to see who could get the most amount of things, you know, like the most amount of attachments, outside physical attachments that they could gather or have. It made them feel like they was doing something more than you. Like whoever could gather the most amount of bullshit, you know, in their life wins. But see, you didn't care anything about that. You didn't care about what, you know, appears on the outside. Like I said, you already know that you've been appointed by your ancestors to assume this seat. This is your seat. And nobody else can get it. They don't have the courage. They didn't have the commitment. They don't have it. And they can't sleep because of it. They are not at peace. Somebody's very angry. They are, because they felt like, you know, that they should have been the one. But you know what? It was their tribe that saw that they was not mature enough. There was always a wise guy. There was always some fuck shit going on with this person. That's why they didn't get it. And the reason that you got it, not only were you innocent, but you always were a leader. Like you could have been a child and leading the pack, or saying what was right and what was wrong, and making sure that you followed the rule of God. You know. Then on top of that, you have already survived some shit, some fuck shit that they tried to throw on you. You already survived the worst part. And now they're upset that you're scot-free. This person is haunted that their little games that they was playing didn't work. So now somebody is trying to look into, like, maybe your finances. They're trying to look at what you have. They're trying to figure out what they can see to try and take from you. Because like I said, to this person, it's like a competition. They got to appear to have everything. So now they can't figure you out. What's the message? What's the message? And regardless of what you have, what you don't have that's in the physical, they'll never be able to get that spot. They don't qualify, nor do they quantify to get that spot. What's the message? Yep. See, somebody thought that you would be the perfect person to try and do this to try and come out like this, you know, in this devilish way, because they said, oh, this person, you always act like you some earth angel. Well, yes, you are. But they felt like they could always, like, control you. Someone tried and control this earth angel, but it didn't work out. It didn't work out. Something about, you remembered some type of conflict from before, whenever somebody tried to come visit you. You remembered that shit. Yes. And you learned an important lesson. You remembered. So why they thought that you didn't know, we don't know. But you definitely know how to protect yourself. We definitely know about self-preservation. You remember how this person was. They were never in your corner. They never wanted to do you right. They never wanted to, you know, have your back. They never wanted to stand 10 toes down for you. So why they thought that you was going to all of a sudden put your guard down and allow them in to wreak havoc, we'll never know. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Yeah, somebody made a promise, but they're not able to keep that promise, and now they are having a hardship because, like I said, they are not meant for this. They don't qualify, nor do they quantify. And you don't have to do anything. That's the important part. It's like whatever you had to do, you've already done. You've already accomplished those things up until that. Yeah, you already spent the time doing it. Time is already, it's past time. Somebody wants to turn back the hands of time, but they can't. It's already written. And Spirit says it's going to be as is. Spirit expects this. So there's nobody that can override Spirit. I'm telling you, this player is haunted. They are haunted because you know what? They just knew they was going to be able to take this. They knew it. They felt like, they could just talk you into giving it to them because of who they were. Like, this person was spoiled. Oh, I'll get it. If my name isn't Reginald Teeth Barney III, I'll get this. Because Mommy loves me. Apparently, Mommy don't love you that damn much to give up her spot. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? There's something about the living code. That's what I'm hearing. Something about the living code. Yes, it's like your ancestors, who you're connected to, have taught you about, a very valuable lesson, and you are teaching others about, not martyring yourself. Something about what you have to do, your purpose here, you teaching others, you showing others, you showing up for others, you letting others know, about this. You don't martyr yourself. You help where you can, but that's it. You don't. There is no you giving until it hurts. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. It's like you're sitting here. Yes, you are here to change how people interact with these fucking players, narcissists. That's what your service is. How people interact with these fucking narcissists who think that they can take something from you. They can't. They need to practice whatever they need to do for themselves, as opposed to them thinking that they can just get something from you. But first card out was justice. This is going to be a short reading, y'all. I got to eat. I worked over. I'm starving. And then post the video because I didn't want to do the part 1, part 2, where I'm like, oh my God, that's like us spinning again. So I'm just recording it. Bottom of the deck. 10 of Wands. Ooh. Yeah, it's like somebody didn't realize that, you're actually here breaking a generational curse. You're actually here stopping the cycle. They couldn't see the cycle that they're in. But that's what your purpose is here to do. Stopping this cycle. What else, Spirit? What else? Yeah. Somebody could not see, about other people taking them for granted. Taking their generosity, taking their kindness for a weakness. Somebody couldn't see that. And it's like I said, you were having people stop and think and look at things in a different way, in a different light. It's like before they couldn't see that, they are being used. Because they felt like, oh no, if this is family, I have to give until it hurts, which was told to me. But no, you don't. Yes, you don't. You can put an end to that. You can have your draw a line in the sand. This is where it stops. And if they don't like it, that's just what they call too damn bad. Yep. You made a judgment call. And you made a judgment call to save your lineage. That's what you're doing. Saving your family. You were the one who has that position. Nobody else. Nobody else. See, they thought that you was a fool. Maybe it's something about your money. You had a hard time balancing your money back in the past or something. And they all said, oh, that person is not it. No, that's not it. But you are. You had to go through these tests, these trials, and these tribulations so that you could make it to the finish line. That's what they didn't see. You didn't see it either when you was going through it, but you was still going through it, and you was determined not to give up. But you know what? You kept moving forward. You kept moving forward, and before you knew it, it was over. Before you knew it, it was over. And now on top of that, it's almost like you've risen above. You know, you are emotionally available, but you're not anybody's sucker. You're very diplomatic. You know, you're very loving. And your money is right. See? They didn't think that you was going to be able to do it, but you did it. And now these people are wondering how you got to be the star. What did you do? Well, you relied on God. And that was it. What's the message, Spirit? This girl. I'm going to bring her in and let her go to bed early. She is just out there cutting up. What the hell is that? What's the message? What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. Yeah, something about this judgment call. See, they made a bad judgment call. They did. They made a horrible judgment call. What is this? Oh. Yeah. And you know what? It was almost like they were trying to, they made a bad judgment call because what they were trying to do was have you be in a stagnant position where things were not moving forward for you. Only to find out that this person, you know, they didn't know how you was. They didn't know everything that you had to go through. They didn't know how you was making your money. They didn't know how things were working out for you. So they tried to do something to mess up your stability. But it didn't work. It didn't work. You still have your Ten of Pentacles. In fact, you have your Ten of Pentacles now more. It's more stable now than it was before. Well, I'm telling you, I'm kind of feeling like this is more than just one person. I'm feeling like this is a few people that are trying to take your stability, that want you not to be stable. Trust me, they want you to be like in debt, you know, where you can't afford nothing or you can't get out of this, like you just made some type of a big purchase, you know, like you made a big purchase and now you're stuck, you're in debt, you can't get out of that. But if you made a big purchase, it's because Spirit said this is time for you to make this purchase. And trust and believe. Yes. See, right now, like I said, it's this opportunity that somebody doesn't want you to have. They want to see if they can and hurt you or make it so that you don't get this opportunity. They want you to be confused, and what they're going to try and do is act like, they all in your corner. Oh, we're so happy to see you. We just and that and the other. We want this for you. We want the best for you. When really they don't. You don't even have to depend on them, because guess what? You already have it. So there's nothing that they can give to you. Nothing. These people are stuck in the past. This is a family that's stuck in the past, thinking they can still deceive you. Deception time is over, boo-boo. Tink, tink. We already know the truth. That's why we left. That's why Spirit carried us on. We already know the truth. There's nothing else that can be done. Okay? We are perfectly balanced in every way. So whoever's trying this is the strength card. This might be somebody who considers themselves a high witch or whatever, with the because if this is the strength card, this would be a Queen of Wands or something. Whoever keeps trying to send these attacks, they need to just let it go. Let it go. Spirit said, no, this ain't even happening. You missed the mark. It's over. It's done. It's complete. Plus you actually get to move on. You're moving forward, in love. You're moving forward in love. And so all these attacks that were so passionately sent towards you, they're all coming back. They're all coming back. Return to sender. What's the message, Spirit? All because you're the chosen one. And they used to call you the black sheep. When they called you the black sheep, they were trying to strike you down. They were trying to make you feel a certain way. They were trying to mess with your mental, to make you feel like I'm the one that don't fit in. But now you were so happy that you're the one that doesn't fit in. Something about this partnership, this relationship, whatever it was. Maybe you had a relationship that you had to put an end to because you knew somebody was trying to do you wrong. They was trying to put these 10 swords in your back. But it was like something about you. You knew it. Something about your mother. I feel like, someone knew that somebody was trying to put 10 swords in your back and they did nothing. I feel like somebody knew somebody was trying to really put these 10 swords in your back and they chose to do nothing. Except let this person think that they could get away with it. I feel like something is getting ready to come back on that person too. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Anything else? Yes. Okay. Yeah, something. Now, something that we don't see is working. Because that card was face down. Something we don't see is working. Okay. See, this person, they was curious to see if they could, instruct get some fear in you. But it's like your decision, I don't think that this worked. Because it was like, this is the two of swords. Somebody was thinking that they could put some fear in you so that you miss this mark. But it's not working. It's not working. Yeah, because what worked is you get it anyway. You get it anyway. We got Justice, the Sun, and the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Pentacles. You know, whatever you're doing is working. And whatever they thought that they was going to do is not going to work. I'm telling you, these attacks that they sent to you, those are being returned. Somebody's going to be, I feel like, expect a phone call. Expect a phone call to hear about somebody either really bad health or somebody didn't make it. I don't know why I'm feeling like that. But expect a call to hear that, either somebody's in really bad health or somebody didn't make it. Something just fell off. Like we heard earlier, something just fell. Maybe somebody just dropped out of nowhere. Because, we have those people that we know that they're here today. And next thing you know, within a minute, they're no longer here with us. Yeah, something. Something about an undercover backstabbing brother who's losing a lot because they lied on you. And they know that was not cool because they was afraid of what people thought. But you know what? You broke a cycle of misery. This could have been a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. A twin flame. I'm telling you, somebody's suffering in silence. This is somebody who tried to scare you so that you did not take your position. But they didn't realize it wasn't up to you. It's up to God. But they don't scare nobody's kids. Especially you. This is somebody that you could have had a trauma bond with. This is somebody that you've known for a long time because they were sitting there looking at your baby pictures. Yeah, this is somebody you've known for a while. They were sitting there looking at your baby pictures, and maybe that's what they was doing, looking at your baby pictures, trying to turn back time or trying to get you scared, or maybe you remember from when you was a baby. But since then, you have graduated and you've ascended and you were healed. Yeah, something about some prophetic dreams. And somebody understands that it's time to transform for the better. It's time for some change. Somebody needs some balance in their life. I feel like they're depressed. Somebody's going to, I'm telling you, somebody, you're going to hear about somebody, and every word was a lie. Every word was a lie. We're going to do one more. What else, Spirit? Yep. The Spirit says, stand your ground. That's it. Stand your ground. Protect your inheritance. Protect your title. Protect your position. You have nothing to worry about. They're trying to scare you. You're not trying to scare them. That makes the difference. They're trying to scare you so that you don't ascend. You are. All right, y'all. I'm getting ready to leave it right there. I'm getting ready to get off of here. I work some overtime. I'm getting ready to eat, get the itis, and start all over in the morning. I love y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Good night.